Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with Ripe for Reissue. Rolling those R's gets harder as I get older. I think it's because I had my teeth replaced. Anyway, we don't have to go into that, do we? It's the British Music Collection, 12 CDs from Sony Classical. They didn't do anything when they released it initially, so I don't see them doing anything now, but there's some really nifty stuff in here. This is what they call a dumpster release. In other words, they just took everything they had that fits the category vaguely, and they dumped it all in a box without much concern about whether it made any sense or not. But the fact is, a lot of it does make sense. And there's some really, really important recordings in here, which need to be reissued anyway. So we're going to go through this. It's 12 CDs, no notes, no nothing, no information other than what's on the disc. And here we go. You ready? The first is a Beecham disc. I mean, all the Sony Beecham stuff needs to be remastered and put in a box. And there's a lot of it. That would really be great. We've got Punch and the Child by Richard Arnell, Lord Berners' The Triumph of Neptune, which I just love. It's fabulous, especially the opening Harlequinade. And then Delius's Paris, The Song of a Great City, with the Royal Philharmonic and the Philadelphia Orchestra. Philadelphia. I mean, come on. Why is this stuff sitting around? Well, Beecham needs the deluxe treatment anyway. And as time goes on and it doesn't happen, I begin to fear more and more that it never will. Then we've got Britain, The Young Person's Guide to the Orchestra with the LSO and Andrew Davis. The Sinfonia da Requiem, that classic St. Louis symphony recording with Andre Previn, which was Previn's first classical recording, I believe. And then the Diversions for Piano Left Hand by Britain with Leon Fleischer and the Boston Symphony and Seiji Ozawa, which is a terrific performance, by the way. So there's that. I mean, it's not stupidly put together for all that it's a dumpster release. I mean, they dumped it so that it fell with some sort of logic or order. The Britain Cello Symphony with Yo-Yo Ma, the Baltimore Symphony and Sinman, not my favorite performance of not my favorite work. And the Peter Maxwell Davies Concerto for Violin and Orchestra with Isaac Stern, the Royal Phil, and Andre Previn. Completely gray and wretched work, but it's British. It's modern. I mean, the coupling makes sense, doesn't it? Delius, Over the Hills and Far Away, North Country Sketches, Eventier, and the closing scene from Coanga with Beecham and the Royal Phil. There it is again. Incredible. They also have the Mass of Life. I mean, they have all that stuff. Okay, here is the Daniel Barenboim Elgar stuff. The First Symphony in the Sea Pictures with Yvonne Minton. I mean, they're good performances. There's nothing wrong with them. They're better than his remakes in some respects. More Barenboim Elgar, the Cocaine Overture, Imperial March, and Symphony No. 2. Then we've got Elgar's Enigma and Pomp and Circumstance Marches 1 through 5 with the Philharmonia and Andrew Davis, who certainly knows this stuff well enough to deliver it sensibly. The Elgar Violin Concerto and In the South with Zuckerman and Barenboim. Now, see, this Elgar stuff was all released separately as well. So yes, you can get that. There's the Sony Barenboim box thing too. So there's lots of different ways to get it, but it was nice that this was here. The Elgar and Walton Cello Concertos with Yo-Yo Ma and the LSO and Andre Previn. We've got Vaughan Williams, Symphony No. 4 and Tallis Fantasia with the New York Phil and Dimitri Mitropoulos. That is unbelievably exciting and very well recorded too. It's just stunning, fast, passionate. The fourth, of course, they took on tour to the UK when Mitropoulos took the New York Phil. The British press, the critics were talking about how unacceptably noisy the performance was. It was too loud. It was too fast. It was too exciting. It was just not stiff upper lip enough. And we've got Vaughan Williams 6 with Stokowski in the New York Phil. Sonically not great, but it's Stokowski, and I mean, come on, right? Walton, Johannesburg Festival Overture, the Violin Concerto, Facade Suite No. 1, and the Capriccio Burlesco with Zino Francescatti, the Philadelphia Orchestra, Eugene Ormandy, New York Phil, Andre Kostelanetz, Nothing Not to Love, and last but not least, Walton's Facade, all of it, and Belshazzar's Feast. It's the Ormandy Belshazzar's Feast, which is pretty nothing special, and the Facade, which is with Edith Sitwell, who wrote the poems, and Walter Castle with the chamber ensemble under Frederick Prosnitz, which is actually pretty good. So, I mean, there it is. It's a somewhat random, but rather nicely assembled British music collection, which should never have been permitted to go out of print. I mean, these performances, the Beecham stuff is classic, and a lot of the other performances are really very, very good. I give up. Keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.